Gator Bowl, Kentucky, Clemson. Kentucky leads 8-5, but Clemson leads 2-1 in bowl matchups. Clemson defeated Kentucky 21-13 back in 2009 for the Music City Bowl. But one of the things that I'll be looking forward to is Kentucky's defense. They're one of the worst when it comes to third down conversions. So they're gonna have to step it up in this game.
You're right, Miguel. This is kind of a tale of two seasons for both teams. Clemson seasons did not start off all that well. Of course, we remember their opener against Duke, which surprised a lot of people. However, Clemson turned their season around. They had an undefeated November. They look to showcase that they are the Clemson that everyone wants them to be. And right now, Clemson, they want to end on a high note. They're looking to have the worst season since 2010. But, with being in another bowl, that works well. But they also want to win the postseason, if you will, by being in a bowl game. They have a streak that they're trying to keep for the past 12 years. So in the past 12 years, they won either a playoff game, a national championship, or a bowl game, and they want to keep that going. Kentucky showed real promise. They started the season 5-0, but they lost the last 5 of 7. They did make a bowl, but this is still, I want to say, a fledgling team that's always showed promise, but they really can't, sell the fact that you're in the SEC, so you have to show up, you have to play games, you have to win your division games. But you're right. How is Ray Davis going to contend with the Clemson defense, and how is Kentucky's defense going to contend with Cade Kublik? Even just being for a sophomore, so Clemson's already looking to the future with this young man. So he has the opportunity to show it. Even though Ray Davis opted to play, which I'm glad he is. I know a lot of college players who are wanting to go to the NFL draft. They are opting out of their bowl game, but I think this could be a underrated bowl game. I could see this going very back and forth, especially in the run game, because both defenses are going to want to stop these very, very explosive running backs. You have Phil McFaa for Clemson, and of course you have Ray Davis for Kentucky. But I see this being a very interesting game. It is being played in Jacksonville. Temperature is going to be nice for all those players, a nice 55 degrees Friday. So it should work out well for both teams. And I hope these teams bring, everything they have, because so far the bowl games have been very, very competitive. And if anything, let's look to the USC Louisville game recently. You are talking about a USC team that a lot of analysts did not give credit to because Kay Williams was not going to play, but his backup showed that if you get your number called, you go, and you make plays. So, gentlemen, whoever is hearing this, if you get your number called, you play your heart out. It doesn't matter if it's your first snap or your 50th snap. You play your heart out.
6 touchdowns. The Miller Moss effect is real. 6 touchdowns. As for Clay Kubnik, he can give Kentucky a lot of problems just by with his legs. A lot of problems. He can give Kentucky defense a lot of problems. This is a Kentucky team that ranks 109 in third down conversions. So I just hope that this game turns out to be a good one, and I have a feeling it will be a good one.
I agree, Miguel. On paper, it doesn't really look good for either team, but when bowl season comes around, you have these teams that want to prove themselves. You know, like I said, let's look at some of the games we've seen recently. The USC Louisville game, um, the Texas A&M and Oklahoma State game, even let's see, Virginia Tech Tulane. That was an interesting game because the weather played more of a factor for Tulane and Virginia Tech. Now, Virginia Tech ended up running away with it, but that was just a very, very close game. And it works the same way. You have some players that are opting out of playing the bowl because they want to get ready for the draft. But like I said, when you have players that when their number gets called, they show up. And the good thing with Cade Klubnik, he is a sophomore. So Clemson is looking to the future for him, at least another year to try and turn the program around, or at least add more to the program. Kentucky, their quarterback is a senior, a 6-year senior, so but still probably, you know, a last hurrah for him as well. But I see this being a competitive game. I see that the teams want to give their best, you know. So, you know, the edge is to Clemson. ESPN is predicting Clemson's going to take this 65% to Kentucky's 34.1. But in a weird way, I'm going to give this to Clemson. Clemson proved themselves late in the season, and I think that's going to be the factor. You know, you're still going to try out new things, and that's another thing I've seen, the technology that they're introducing in bowl games. I've seen in the bowls you have players consulting iPads. They are seeing live video footage. This is some new technology that college players can check out and utilize, and hopefully they can adapt to. That makes the game plans better. But I'm going to give this to Clemson, but I still see this as a high scoring game. uh I'm gonna go with Clemson, but a close one. Let's go Clemson 35, Kentucky 30. And I see Kubler playing a very good game. I'd see maybe 3 touchdowns, 300 yards. If the weather's good for him, you know, he would do that very well. And he's got some great weapons in the slot that can really make that happen.
I'm definitely going with Clemson in this game as well. High scoring game as well. I have them winning 37-32. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go Clemson this game. As for everyone, tomorrow we'll be back to talk about the Orange Bowl, and you know, and talk about a little bit about this game. Now, yeah, the Orange Bowl. We'll talk about tomorrow. So Avery, thank you once again for joining. It's been a couple of days, but it's bowl season, so we had to make content.
Oh, absolutely. And like I've said, in our first year and now in our second year, bowl season is a great time. Sometimes you see the end of a college career and the new beginning of a professional career, but you also see these future college football stars showcase themselves at a bowl game. You know, hopefully, like we mentioned, if the Lord blesses us, hopefully we can see a Rose Bowl, you know. But like I said, living in Florida, I'm not far from the Orange Bowl, Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Gator Bowl up in Jacksonville. They actually play a bowl over in Tampa. So I have many opportunity, and if the Lord keeps me above ground, as a friend of mine said, hopefully I'll be able to see a bowl game in the future.